All right. So as I said, this is towards Smart Conference 2026, and we started this webinar last week. Last week was a very insightful session, and we're privileged to have Dr. Ogedengbi speak to us on finding research gaps and how to structure an extended abstract in view for the call for paper for Smart 2026. Now, I would like to use this medium to encourage those that are yet to submit an extended abstract that registration closes on 26th of July. So please take note of that. So as I said, the last session was a very insightful one, and then we had him take us through finding research gaps, and then he took us through the IMRAD format for an extended abstract. That's the introduction, the material methodology, the results, and discussion. So if peradventure you missed out on that session or you'd like to listen to it over again, you can check that out on our YouTube platform. And the handle is Smart Research Conference. And I will drop the link to the YouTube channel in the chat box. So as we delve into today's meeting, I would like to plead with us to have our mics muted. And of course, we are still expecting more people. So before we delve in, I would expect you to reach out to your friends, reach out to those that you know, and you would not want anybody to miss out on a meeting like this, even with the distinguished speaker that we have ready to present. So please kindly reach out to others for them to be part of this meeting. As I said, please ensure your microphones are muted, even as you are joining and as others join also. Also, feel free to drop any questions that you have in the chat box throughout the presentation. So if you have questions as we are going on, you can ask them, drop them in the chat box. And during the question and answer session, you would have them answered, you'd have them responded to. So today, our theme is industry partnership for sustainable development of the local energy markets. I'll take that again. Industry partnership for sustainable development of the local energy market. Now, a question that will come is that why is such a topic important for a time like this? So I would give a brief intro on that. And that's based on the fact that what's in our country at the moment, we are standing at a very pivotal moment in our power sector. In recent months, we've seen massive regulatory shifts. For instance, we've seen now that 15 states have officially transitioned to regulating their own electricity markets, likes of Lagos, Ekiti, Enugu, and the likes of them. Also, we've had the rolling out of the new 2026 mini grid regulations, which was aimed to bridge our persistent energy gaps. So also we've had issues with the reliability of our national grid, and therefore there is the need to build sustainable, resilient energy systems. And the need for that is not just a high-level policy goal, but it is vital for the economic lifeline of our local industries. So bridging the gap between engineering research and these pressing market realities is exactly why we are here today. And it is also vital to note that which of course we are going to see during the course of the program, is that no single stakeholder can actually solve these energy problems that we have. So it's going to require a robust industrial partnership to mobilize investment and truly turn research into reality, which of course is the focus of this webinar series that we're having. So based on that, it is my honor to introduce our distinguished speaker, Dr. Ismaila Ali Ruzama. Now, who is Dr. Zama? Dr. Zama is an internationally recognized energy expert and policy strategist with over 25 years of experience across research, public service, and international corporations. He currently serves as a key executive within the World Energy Council's Nigeria National Committee, and he is a program coordinator at the Japan International Cooperation Agency, Nigerian office. Alongside that, he's also the Secretary General of the Solar Energy Society of Nigeria, with a PhD in energy resource engineering and an extensive background with the Energy Commission of Nigeria, where he rose to the position of Deputy Director. He has been at the forefront of shaping national energy policy. So, Dr. Zama, thank you for being with us today. The floor is yours, sir. Thank you for the privilege of being with us, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, distinguished members of the general public, especially the energy sector, my respected organizers for this smart conference. It is my pleasure to be here today, looking at the fact that this type of information sharing is what we need in Nigeria at this point in time. We have to ensure the sustainability of energy supply and energy generation in the country. So I was asked to make presentation. Let me see if I can share this slide. Oh, yeah, first before we start. Okay. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to start this presentation on all existing established protocols. I don't want to take much of our time because I don't know the moderator how many minutes I have for this presentation so that I will be guided.
40 minutes, sir.
Okay, fine. That's great. I think it's quite enough. So I was asked to speak on industry partnership for the sustainable development of the local energy market. This is very catching and important issues to discuss at this point in time. But setting the context, first, why this topic at this point in time? We are all aware that Nigerian energy sector is critical to economic growth, in industrialization, and improved quality of life. Energy is the backbone of everything. Growing demand for reliable and affordable energy is increasing on a daily basis. Uh, these days, we need to undergo sustainability and resilience in issue of energy generation. So there's need for sustainable and resilient energy system in the country. The energy transition is also taking center stage in present realities. So the energy transition is an opportunity for us and also a challenges. Despite abundant energy resources in Nigeria, we have quite a number of challenges, especially with regards to issue of power generation, transmission, distribution, and then energy access.
Sorry,
Sustainable
sir.
development.
Sorry
Yes,
for cutting in. The slide is not yet showing on our end. I think we can see your screen, but not the slide.
you cannot see this slide. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 minute.
I think it's not yet opened. Thank you, sir.
Okay, just 1 minute. Let me see. I shared window.
All right, that is wonderful now, sir.
You can see now. Okay. So
All
yes.
right.
So I will continue because I don't need to go back. Sustainable development of local energy market requires strong collaboration among government, private sector, financial institution, communities, and development partners. So this is not an issue for only one sector or one group of people. There is need for long time collaboration with this for this to be achieved. So key message here is, as I said, no single stakeholder can ensure sustainable development of the energy market alone. So first, let's also understand sustainable market, sustainable energy market. What does sustainability means? Sustainability always cut across three issues, which is economic and environmental and social. So, social economic sustainability is issue of affordable energy, investment attractiveness, and then job creation. So once there is affordable energy, and then people can have access to it at any point in time, uh, the investment is also being attracted on a daily basis or at any point in time. People are very comfortable to invest into the sector, and then there is a clear indication on job creation because of the investment that are coming into the system. Then we can say economic sustainability with regards to the issue of energy market has been achieved. Then when we come to issue of environmental sustainability, what also comes to our mind is issue of clean energy deployment. Today, the whole world is trying to see how we can move away from the conventional means of energy dependability to more, what do you call it, clean energy, using all these renewable energies and others. This is also very important. And another issue is also to see the level of reduction in your emissions. We are a country that are more of fossil fuel based. Ideally, we should also show a clear indication, clear figures that this is the pathway we adopted to reduce the emissions. Then resource efficiency is also one important thing. So the next key issue also is the issue of social. When you talk about social sustainability, is issue of energy access for all. This should be discussed as a way where at any location, at any point, people can get access to energy. If it is power supply, each community, remote or whatsoever it is, must have that. If it is like PMS or whatsoever, it is also going to be assessed. And the accessibility is issue of how people can afford it and how reliable it is. Then the other issue is community development, and then improve quality of life. So once there is energy supply that is being provided to the general public, definitely there will be a source of quality of life, because the day-to-day activities is being dependent on energy. So let's go quickly to discuss issue of current challenges in the local energy market. We have a lot of challenges. Inadequate electricity generation and supply is one major issues. Um, Aging infrastructure and high transmission losses is also one of another issue. Limited access to electricity in rural communities, dependency on fossil fuels and environmental concern, funding constraint to large-scale energy project, regulation and policy uncertainty. We have these issues. Technology gap also is part of it. So these are major barriers that need to be tackled or need to be focused upon. When we say inadequate infrastructure, everybody knows that this is there, especially when you come to like transmission. There are a lot of transformers now that are not uh, working at an efficient, what do you call it, level. This result to also often losses of energy. Then we have issue of financial constraint. The government cannot have the full financial muscles to put the energy sector into reality. And again, we are still having some issues with regards to investors putting their investments into energy sector. The regulation, well, we have good what do you call it, institutions. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commissions are there, NEMSA is there, and other regulatory bodies. But there are some overlapping issues, or there are some issues that need to also to be noted, and this results to uncertainty in some of the issues. Then technology gaps. Well, everybody knows the whole work is moving at a very high speed, so we need a lot of capacity building. We need a lot of understanding on some of the emerging technologies and others. Then I will conclude this part by saying also we have weak local manufacturing capability. For example, let's even look at the renewable part of it. Solar energy uh, is one of the targeted, what do you call it, indicator for energy transition. It's also one of the very good means of reducing energy emission. As we speak today, there are a lot of people being encouraged or being deploying the solar energy system in their homes or industry, but we don't have manufacturing capability. I think the solar manufacturing uh, companies we have is more of research based, the one in Naseni, and there's one also at the National Center for Energy Research at the Usman Danfodio University. So all the system component for solar or alternative energy are being imported. So this is another issue. We need to have a strong manufacturing capability where some of these things, even if they are not going to be manufactured from the basics, like the cells, I don't expect us to say we will start from the process of silicon or whatsoever, but we should have at least some level of competency in the process. So now looking at my next slide, I would like to talk on the power of industry participation. Why participation matters? Industrial participation matters simply because pooling of financial resources and technical expertise, risk sharing among stakeholders, foster deployment of energy infrastructure, promotion of innovation and technical transfer, improve operational efficiency and service delivery, then creation of job and local economic development. So this is very important because you need to mobilize investment. With that, there should be partnership within the industry. The partnership can be local or can be international, but the basic fact is that there should be need for partnership so that investment can funds can be mobilized through that. Then risk sharing automatically, of course, there should be also an issue of risk sharing. Then what do you call it, transfer of technology. You have to partner, especially with developed countries or developed manufacturing companies or develop installation companies or generation companies to have transfer of technology. And this is one good area where some of the development partners in Nigeria, like the JECA I work with, and then the GIZ, and then the Islamic Development Bank, and then the Africa, what do you call it, Africa Development Bank, are looking into it, issue of seeing how technologies are being transferred. We should be able to have partnership, especially the industry should have partnership. Industry A in Nigeria is supposed to have partnership with industry B, and one of the key issue in their partnership is the issue of technology transfer. Then building local capacity. We should also look internally, especially organizations that are in charge, like the Energy Commission of Nigeria, the PTDF, the what do you call it? National Petroleum Training Institute in Delta State, and among others, should be able to build internal capacity. Nigeria should have a reasonable number of local capacity. We should not depend on international capacity. That a small project, you have to see that 60% or even 70% of the people managing are expatriates. This is totally unacceptable. We should have a sort of control. We should have a sort of what do you call it? Being ownership of some of this project, but it cannot be done without we having the local what do you call it? Capacity. So this is also another good area that can be achieved through industrial partnership. Then accelerate innovation is also clear. We need to have accelerated innovation. There are a lot of innovations on the ground now, and we need to move with the speed of reality. Then expanded energy access. We can also have expanded energy access in the country these days with looking at the fact that there is industrial partnership. One, international to local is also very important, or local to international basis are also important. So partnership means share vision, share resources, and then share impact. So let's talk also with regards to the issue of key stakeholders in the energy ecosystem. We are very aware that if you talk of key stakeholders in the energy ecosystem, you are talking of federal government, state government, energy companies and investors, distributions and generation company, renewable energy developers, financial institutions and development banks, academia, and then research institute, local community, and civil society. These are key stakeholders in the economy, in the what do you call energy ecosystem. Without these people, or without having this set of different entity in the in the energy ecosystem, there will be no reasonable development. The government must be there because they set rules and regulations. They are also the regulators. They have also need to look into it, and then also from time to time produce some other what do you call it, incentives that may come to ensure that the system is robust. Then you also look at the private sector. Private sector is also key because these days government cannot do everything. You need to involve private sector participation in any of the day-to-day socio-economic activities in Nigeria. So we have to leverage on also the stakeholders' capacity, private sector capacity. Then institutional, what do you call, financial institution. Today, as I said, government cannot do. Private sector also has to get some money from the financial institution. So we have to also come up with this type of thing. For example, we are quite sure if you follow the trend, there is ongoing plan to launch Africa Energy Bank. And I think this Africa Energy Bank, upon its full operation, will be one of the institution that will be providing some leverage finances to private sectors to see how they will go into energy development. Then we have also like development partners who are more of financial institutions like the World Bank. The World Bank has been also very forthcoming. You see recently the World Bank has provided like about 750 million US dollars for DARIS program, distributed upscale of renewable energy in Nigeria, and other partners like JICA who are also willing to co-fund this project with about 200 million US dollars. We have some other contributors also. These are also this thing. Then the academia and the research, these are also the backbone. Researches has to be up to date. Today, all what we have is based on researches. So we should involve, we should get the academias and the research institute very positioned. Like I'm glad to see University of Lagos is championing this smart conference. This is all what we want, where the, what do you call it, the researches of people can be presented, and we should move away from only from the research to domestication. So to commercial, we should move from research and move to commercialization. So these are also very important. Then the local community. The local communities are host of some of these energy project, they should be involved, and then they should be part of the stakeholders. So I want to also talk about issue of um, renewable energy partnership. This I want to first talk about the area of strategic collaboration with the renewable energy development. Solar mini grids for underserved community is one. Then wind and small hydro power project is also another key area. Then we have clean cooking solution and bioenergy initiatives. So this is also another very good collaborative aspect that need to be focused on. Then we look at the issue of infrastructure investment. This is in line with looking at the fact that expansion of transmission and distribution networks need to be put into consideration. Smart grid system today worldwide, especially in the developed countries, are adopting smart grid technology. So Nigeria should be also able to go into this. Then issue of energy storage. Issue of energy storage is another very important aspect. Today, we are moving for alternative energy, and alternative energy can only be achieved also through energy storage, because the source is from the daytime, the sunshine, and then there's need also to have energy. And the good side of it, Nigeria, we are very good in sunshine radiation. The country all over Nigeria, there's no state in this country that cannot have at least 2 or 3 daylight on a daily basis, 2 or 3 hours daylight on a daily basis. Not like other countries where totally they don't have enough daytime, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. So we are blessed with that. And again, we have a lot of resources, especially for making the batteries. We have a lot of lithium deposits in this country. If you go to places like Nasarawa and others, is there. So with this renewable energy partnership, I also want to talk about issue of capacity building. There must be a technical training for local workforce. In Nigeria, we should have a very good training program for like solar installators, wind installators, and then any other source of energy. We should have a very good background. We have potential for that. We should have research and development partnership. We should have knowledge transfer from international and local partner. Then local content is another very important issues. If you look at issue of local content development, we need to encourage local manufacturing of energy equipments. We should have some of the energy system components, especially with regard to alternative energy, solar in particular. We need to have some of these things, some of the inverters, some of the charge controllers, some of the panels can be locally produced here. If there's anything big that we may need to do, it should be something that we don't have the capability, but we should have the supporting Nigerian entrepreneurship and small scale in the energy value chain is another important. How can you support this thing? Is by creating energy supply that are dependable for that can be a means of productive use of energies, making mini grid supply that can help the small scale industries to access energy and produce on a daily basis. Increase participation in indigenous companies is another very distinct. So I'll quickly, because I know time is not there, but talk on benefit of sustainable energy partnership. This increase energy access and reliability. It also reduce carbon emission. It also bring energy economic diversification. It create job and skill development. It also enhance energy security and attract foreign investment. So This is also another very good issues. Then if we look at the success factors for effective partnership, this should be clear regulatory framework and policy consistencies. We should have a clear regulation and policy that are consistent. We should not have some of these policies that today this government will come up with, another government come and then change the goalposts, and then investors become scared and whatsoever it is. So we should have the issue of the transparency and accountability is also one key issue in issue of renewable energy partnership. If there's no transparency, there's no accountability, it will not work. Long-term commitment from stakeholders is also important. Community engagement and then social inclusion is another issue. So let me quickly move to the next slide, talking about technology and innovation building the energy market for the future. First, let's look at the emerging technologies such as smart grid, smart metering, artificial intelligence, digital energy management, predictive maintenance, energy storage solution, partnership, accelerate technology adoption, and local innovation. These are things that are straightforward, but they are very important to ensure energy market for the future. The smart grid, as I already said, is something that developed countries are already using for their grid system. In Nigeria, we have often grid collapse. I think last year we have not less than, let me not quote numbers so that I will not be referenced to, but we have a lot of disturbing grid collapse. So we should have a smart grid that identify faults at any point in time and ensure that things should not be totally like a whole country going down because of some few issues that generated 300 kilometers far away. The grid should be smart in such a way that if there is any problem in some other way, it can be cut off and then supply can continue in another direction. Then the issue of smart metering. Today, most of the energy theft we have is because of smart metering system is not deployed fully in Nigeria. There are meters that are still being bypassed. There are some meters that are also still not available and a lot of things. So we have to ensure this, because these are simple innovations. They are not things that are rocket skies, predictive issues, but these are things that already been deployed in many countries, which we can just copy. Artificial intelligence is another key area. Everybody knows what artificial intelligence can do now in any aspect of life. So also to make energy market of the future, we need to adopt this. Digital energy management. Yes, we need to have all this. We should manage our energy digitally. Like in the renewable energy, I'm glad that I went to ARIA and they are trying to come up with a sort of control system where all the mini grids in the country that they're doing can be monitored from one location, and the output can be also identified. Then predictive maintenance. We should not wait until every system collapses or anything is down before we take action. We should be able to have a system where it can predict something is going to happen and action can be taken immediately. Energy storage facility, I have already talked much on that. Is one of the key issues, especially if you are going into renewable energy technology. Partnership, accelerated technology adoption, and local innovation is also very priority. Then my favorite area of which is the issue of capacity building, especially with regards to local development, local content development. We should not, and as I said, depend on international capacity. I am so unhappy to see a project of maybe 3 megawatts, 60% are expatriates, and only people who can carry cement, carry shovel, carry pole, this are the local content. We should go beyond that. We should have capacity that deals with issue of even what do you call it, downsizings and then installations and whatsoever it is. So we should look at this as very important key. So technical training is very important. Research collaboration. There is no meaningful research these days that is done only by one person. It should be collaborative. Today, you may have an idea, but you don't have the resources. I'm talking especially to the universities and the academias. You should have an idea. Try to search online which other university in the part of the world or in the country are doing something similar to that. Have connection with those team in that university, form collaboration, and make a very useful research. You should not say, I have an idea and I must deliver it on my own, taking you 200 years to have results. No, connect with people who has also ideas similar to you, have the facilities on ground. Your university may not have some of the equipment. Their university may have those equipment and they don't have that idea. You have the idea, you collaborate. So industrial academic partnership is also related to what I just, then professional certification. We should at this point in time be able to now have this issue of professional certification. We should not allow only that it's only when you're a member of Korean or you're a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers and this. No, subsectorial energy issues can also be professionally certified. If you are a solar installer, you should go through the process of becoming a certified solar installer. If you are a wind installer, you should go through that process to become a certified wind installer. If you are, what do you call it, geothermal expert, there should be a sort of all this professional certificate is very important. Then skill development. Once you talk of capacity building, you are talking of skill development. So expected outcome, surely there will be more expertise locally that can help taking some of this, and it will reduce the cost of project. Sincerely, all those expatriates you are seeing, their costs are being embedded in, especially now with the Nigerian system. Insecurity is one of our major problems. Any expatriate that is coming has double or triple insurance on his life, which is embedded into the contract, because the company cannot pay him from their profit. It should be embedded to what is provided for you. So we need to have local to reduce, and government should be very clear. Only sensitive expertise are not are needed in some of these projects to make a very good energy market for future. Then there will be definitely more jobs. There will be strong local supply chain. Then there will be sustainable industrial growth. With all these things put up across, there will be sustainable industrial growth. So let me quickly round up my presentation. I wanted to say I offered the following as a strategic recommendation to ensure pathways to sustainable development. There should be strengthened policy and regulatory framework. We have policies, we have regulators, we have all this type of thing. Nigeria is very good environment, very good country that has a lot of policies and a lot of this thing. So we need to, as you hear the moderator from the beginning talked about the recent NEC mini grid development and shift. These are all things we need. We should have strengthening policies, and that will help us to move ahead. Expanded public-private partnership. Government cannot do everything these days. We should be aware of that. We should be open to see private move with government in partnership to expand energy market. Then we should also have increased green financial opportunities. We should have all those opportunities, either international or locally based. The climate change issue, the energy transition should be bringing an opportunity where financing can be available for some of these energy market issues. Then promote local manufacturing is one key issue. We should ensure that we have to put a marching order towards increasing local manufacturing. Investment in research and innovation. This is very, very important, and we have to look into it. While I was in Japan doing my PhD in energy resource engineering, the professor I worked under him has not less than 500 million US dollars under him. And guess from where? It's from industry. It's not from the government. is from industry. This professor even, what do you call it, float out scholarship for PhD student to come and do their PhD studies on activities or areas that the industries wish. Dangote industry can come to a university and say, I need my sugars to look like a different this and this and this, and I'm floating you 100 million US dollars to do research. The professor will now take that lead, use students under him, or even when he see he has limited number of students, based on those coming through government or through say financing, he will advertise that in his own lab he has opportunity to have 10 PhD students under his own financial obligation. And what are they coming to do? Is to do researches. And what is the research for? Is for the industry. So investment in research and innovation is also very important. Government cannot do anything. Also, industries in Nigeria should have a matching order. 10% of your profit, 5% of your profit should be dedicated for research and innovation. You should also have, every industry should have a department of research and development. You cannot be a manufacturer and you don't have a research and innovation department, and they don't have budget. They are also, even if you have, they are depending on the normal overhead. It's not possible to have good results. So also there's need for that. Then support renewable energy development. Thank God, because of even the inadequate power supply we have in the country, a lot of people now are deploying the renewable energy, especially solar, into their house. They go on their own to look for means of deploying alternative energy to augment the power supply to their house. Major cost of products that we have these days is because of power supply. If not because of power supply, some of these products that we are buying in thousands cannot be. I was talking with somebody who owns a hotel. He says his major problem is energy supply, because the money he spends on diesel is in millions on a daily basis. So sometimes you may have few number of guests, and you cannot say that you cannot supply electricity. You have to supply electricity for them. And NEPA is giving you 2 hours, 3 hours. So you have to make sure that alternative supply is there. And how can you achieve that? Is by diesel generation. So most of them now are looking at the possibility of introducing renewable energy. Despite we know that renewable energy is not, especially solar, is not too good for large capacity energy consumption equipment, but you can see how you can manipulate to take some of the needed simple energy need on that system while you depend on the national grid. Then encourage regional collaboration. We have already discussed much, and I think it's a way forward to recommend people to have regional collaboration, especially for market issues, energy market issues. We should be able to have that. Then strengthen community engagement. We should have communities very involved in whatsoever it is. In the energy sector, communities should be engaged because some of them are custodians of this project or this energy supply chain. So without them fully engaged, I think we may end up having some of the issues we are having in Nigeria. In the past, there are a lot of, what do you call it, thermal power station, gas thermal power station that have already been produced, but issue of accessibility from gas is another problem, and simply because of vandalization, issue of community are not taking care at the beginning of some of these projects, hindering the speedy deployment of some of these pipes to pipe through them. Okay, so takeaway is sustainable development of local energy market is not the responsibility of government alone. Let us take note of that. Not the industry alone. It's the responsibility of everybody. As I already outlined, those stakeholders over there must be on the conference table. Then, in conclusion, it is the product of effective partnership built on trust, innovation, investment, and share commitment that we will be able to have what do you call it uh, sustainable local energy market, especially in Nigeria. So on this note, I would like to conclude by appreciating the effort of the organizers for giving me the opportunity to speak today. And also, I hope I have given my little to the listeners, and I believe that it may be useful in one way or the other. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Zama, for that incredible insight. Really grateful to have you here. So, your point as regards the collaboration that's needed between academia and industries was very much insightful. And much more when you talked about how that companies should dedicate part of their profits into research. So that's very much insightful. Thank you very much for that, sir. So while we wait for the audience to drop their questions in the chat, if you have any questions for Dr. Zama, you can drop them in the chat. So I have a question on my end, sir. So,
Go
sir,
ahead.
you highlighted industrial academic partnership as a key priority for capacity building. So from your perspective, what practical steps can universities and local energy firms take to ensure that academic research is seamlessly commercialized to address immediate market demand rather than just having it in textbooks and just having it in our books? That's it, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So for that, what I wanted to say is that there's need for synergy and awareness. First, the university should be able to have synergies between them and the industry. The universities are not talking to the industries, and the industries are not talking to the industry to the universities in Nigeria. This is one of the problem we are having. Until we have that awareness that there is need for universities to reach out to the industries, or there is need for industry to reach out to the universities, we cannot achieve anything. There are a lot of effort being on ground. Let me give you example. The Energy Commission of Nigeria has about 4 or 5 centers, and what do is fully research. There are a lot of products. If you go to Sokoto, there are a lot of products that are on ground. But because the university is not talking with the industry, or the research center at the university is not talking with the industry, their output is always on the table. And there's no any industry or investor that is even aware of some of this development. But he went to China because he wants to be in business, he wants to do something, and start bringing in what already been developed locally by the Nigerian research sectors from the university angle. Improve wood stuff. This has been developed since 1960s or 70s from the energy research centers. But now we are bringing in improved wood stuff from Nigeria, or from China or any part of the world into the country, and selling them out for people. But because the university did not create an awareness to let these people who are investors to say, you have this thing, how can we move it? Then another issue is the issue of standardization. Our products or our research are not reaching standardization stages. Somebody has produced something, but even you yourself, you don't like to take it to your house because he has not standardized it. You have to come up with standardization. We have to come up with standardization. After you come up with an idea, produce something, you standardize it to such a way that it reaches international best practices, and this product can now go for commercialization. After you patent, you go for commercialization, and then it becomes a public product. So we need also that in the industry. So there must be an awareness, and there must be synergy. The university should have an outreach with regards to research outputs. Let it disseminate informations of all what we have. We don't depend on only saying that there's a national conference for solar energy where we are inviting university academia to come and present their findings there. Some of the findings, even when they bring it, you know that it's not at a commercial stage. So we should be able to have more effort put across this. So I think I have said something that may address your issue.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So we have a question also from one of our wonderful listeners, from the person of Shola Ayola. Thank you for the question. So the question states thus: despite the government policies and regulators, government is not supporting local content. Nasani is a wonderful agency, but nobody is patronizing their products. What is the way forward? Do you get the question,
Okay,
sir?
I get the question. Thank you very much. First, let me, what do you call it, at least clear the doubt or the mindset that government is not doing. Government is doing a lot. Government has been doing a lot through the Neseni he's talking about, through Simidan, through even we have national, what do you call it, local content board in Nigeria that has a regulation. There's certain percentage of local contents that need to be in this thing. So is the issue of one, standardization, two, patriotism, three, enforcement and policies. In some countries, let me tell you, in some countries like even Ghana here, when they started coming with the replacement of compact, what do you call it, incandescent lamps, the government say, well, we want to go into this product. We want to clear away all incandescent lamp in this country, but we don't want to depend on importation. So what happened is, investors were asked to come, they come, they were asked to, okay, declare interest, government give them subsidy, and then they start producing those incandescent assembles. Let me use that word first. Assemble even those what do you call LED lamps, what do you call it, incandescent lamp, and all this in the country, and that gives them the opportunity to clear away the incandescent the incandescent lamps in the country without what we faced in Nigeria. We started that project in Energy Commission with 1 million compact fluorescent lamp to replace incandescent. That becomes a very good idea. People started seeing the advantage of any reduction and then value for money. But what happens? Because the government did not sit down that time to say that there is a law, there is a strategy, there is a subsidy to go to the next stage of this. We allowed people to go and bring incandescent lamp. I was privileged to have a report that said market, what do you call it, compact fluorescent lamps in the market, over 500 were picked. And guess what? 70% of them, what is declared on as the rating there is not what is inside. All are substandard. You see 50 watts, it is already 100 watts you are using. You see 30 watts, it's already 50 watts you are using. Not like you see 20 and you see exact 20. So this also makes many people at the end of the day did not believe in that project in Nigeria. And again, the issue of standardization, we have also poor power supply that comes up and off. There are issues of diode, most of them, and then they keep on burning, and then people say, I will go back to my normal distance. But thank God, I think the effort is being done. So the issue is that, yes, there is a need for local content emphasis. But majority of us in Nigeria now, if you tell them to buy made in Nigeria product, they tell you they don't want it. So we have to get that patriotism to ensure that we are going to look into our local things. Then we have also a good regulation that will standardize those local things that are coming up. Then we have also subsidy that will help investors to reduce even some cost of capitals to go into that business. Like today, you want to make production. Electricity is a problem for you. So at the end of the day, you don't. And local content will only be realistic if it is locally there. So these are issues. Yes, I quite agree with you that we are not, what do you call it, looking much into local content, but government has done its best because we have policies, we have regulators, we have promoters, all with regards to doing things locally in this country. But also we need to have some issues being addressed, like what I just say, issues of standardization, issue of good additional good policies and implementation of those policies, and then issue of subsidy for industries, people to also have confidence and then come and do the production in Nigeria, and then have a very good market outreach, also have a good packaging, because some of our things we don't even package it well, and then this make people to have this, like the sobo. Let's talk about even the hibiscus tea. You just go and buy this hibiscus tea now that people are supplying in Nigeria. Even the, what do you call it, the tea bag inside is not well labeled. It's just like somebody is pushing them to push out the product to the market. And it's the same hibiscus that people are coming to buy in billions in Nigeria, taking it overseas, do a very good finishing, selling the same quantity you are selling here at 500 naira at 5,000 for us. Yeah, the life is dynamics. For those who has the money and they want something presentable, they go for that. So we need to standardize our product. We need to also have patriotism, and then we have also the government support. In India, in the past decades, there was no any Toyota or Honda or this. If you see a Toyota product in India, then it's a foreigner, not the indigenous. The Tata has been one of their, until now they become more sufficient that they know they are exporting even their Tata products to every part of the world before they open up the market.
Sorry, thank you very much, Dr. Zama. I think before you exhaust too much time, the person that has the question is actually tagging more questions. So I don't know if the moderator can add more of the questions that is coming from Mr. Shola Yola to Dr. Zama so that I can add them up to his explanation.
All right, sir. Thank you for the highlight, sir. So I'm going to read the two questions out now. Dr. Zama, if you are with us, sir. The questions goes thus: research and development. Many industries see capacity building as expenses and not investment. How can the orientation change? Then the second one, Gies from Germany was assisting us on green energy at a time. Why are they backing out? We are told that green energy is much used in Germany. So this person is questioning that, sir. All right, so please let's kindly sit tight. I think our speaker just had like a reception issue, so you should be with us any moment from now. Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Hello, Dr. Zama.
So I believe he's joining. He's having reception issue, sir. He's having
Oh,
reception
okay.
issue. Yes. All right. So while we wait for Dr. Zama to join us, for every one of us who are on the call right now, and we are looking into participating in the Smart Conference 2026 through submission of our research paper, I'd like to remind us all of the submission for the extended abstract deadline set for June 26th, right? I'm sure that with a lot of things that Dr. Zama has mentioned, a lot of our questions must have been answered around what is the viability of our research work, how credible it is, right? This let us know that it's actually very credible because in the long run, we want both industries and both industries and academia to come together and what sort solution for the country that would advance the country and the continent as a whole. So we at Smart would like to ask you to get your pen to paper, get your hands on the keys, and come up with the extended abstract before June 26th, right? Have it submitted. We'll critically assess it with the methods we have in place, and we'll be reaching out to you on regarding the acceptance of your submission, from which you will now further request for a full paper submission. Yes, which will be publicized. That's one of the beauty about Smart Conference. Yes, it will be publicized. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. I think Dr. Zama is having issues and we need to actually round up now. Actually, the webinar is supposed to be within the space of 1 hour. So let me try my best to address the questions that Mr. Shola Yolaha put forward. As regard the issue of what can be done to change the orientation of many industry treating capacity building as expenses and not investment. I think it's just because of the environment where we are at the moment that is still very much developing because of so much risk that the amount you spend on trying to build capacity, am I going to get it back? Because people want a profit and return of the investment very quick. So when you have a system that is so very, prone to a lot of risk, a lot of speedy policy changes, so we are naturally prone to such orientation. So the very first response to that is very obvious to everyone. We're praying for stable government and that address the issue of insecurity and the stability in terms of policy changes and all that. But if we go through the mindset of our speaker today, the subject matter has to be removed from looking at does the government, that's where we have been, where we are. We need to know that this issue is the responsibility of everybody. So therefore, if you spend some time building capacity, even within yourself or building your product, or you have to be very patient. and there are procedure in place. Part of the challenge that makes some people to like, okay, if I put my resources into building something like this, most of the time, maybe intellectual property or something that is going to yield fruit later. Am I sure somebody is not going to steal that? Somebody is not going to take that away? That's the very open risk that we have, that is actually discouraging a lot of people spending time to really build what we have. But we need to also understand that there is need to be courage. There needs to be that conviction that you have that these things, this solution is really, the need to have solution to this problem is really driving your passion. So that is going to sustain you while you go through such a period of waiting. And then you need to also be very, very much cautious. Use all the procedure for intellectual property protection, just to ensure that as you try to drive people to collaborate, know that everybody is coming to the table, mostly with different mindset, and you just need to be very careful as you relate with them, so that everything you put into just solving a problem is not just being scattered by everybody you move to. So that is just something that I feel is going to really help to change your orientation. So, and then when you are successful like that, you influence other people, maybe through internship, and then you can spread that very news. That orientation can change that way. That's my humble response to that. And then the other questions about the issue of GIZ, you said from Germany was assisting, and why are they backing out? We are told this and that. So, well, I need to be very candid, with the issue of development partners relating, with the drive for local content development. Our speaker has done justice so much to that. The mindset that we have mostly in Nigeria is that we would think all these development partner has come, they just come and develop us and all that. That's a lie. Who have been, everybody knows me a little bit, even when I was director of the Energy Center, I always very frank, when I engage them, GIZ, they know me very well, and I'm very, very brutal in trying to let everybody knows that, okay, these are the things that we need to do to ensure that our local they develop. And I know all the playbook. So when things are not going the way many of these development partners comes, they are going to disengage. So the reason why we need to know that we need to solve our problem ourselves, that is very, very much important. We build our home, and then we'll put the energy. Nobody's going to come from outside the customer solve our problem for us. So so that is part, I can say, the vision that we have for this very smart. And like the moderator has mentioned, we are all being encouraged to be part of this. We're calling the industries, we're calling the academia. We will meet, and get the people to know where we are, and everybody can share us also where they are, and then we can exchange ideas, and this can help us to really move forward. And as we start moving forward, even the development partners can see that, and they will start relating with us as stakeholders, not people that you want to just give a grant or meals to, and then you take their resources away, without developing the knowledge. So this is just what, I can say is driving the vision for SMART. And I will start this live webinar to ensure that we get ourselves sensitized before October, when the reconference is going to happen. I can tell you today, the speaker for next week is already ready, informed and accepted, and I can say that we are going to be dealing with the issue of building electric vehicle infrastructure, in Africa, and in someone that I believe has done, some things that he will share his personal experience, and as just like one of those that are being called by the speaker of today to come out. So, and as we continue with this initiative, we're going to identify many of the people in the market that are doing one thing or the other. Together, we'll be able to have solution, for the problem, that we have. So thank you very much for coming, to the conference. I mean, for the live webinar for today. I want to thank our smart interns that have put this together for their efforts. And I believe next week, will be a very greater one. Oh, we have our speaker back, Dr. Zaman. I think you had a little bit of trying to cover what you are trying to. So maybe you have one or two words to add to what I've said. Over to you, sir.
No, I think you have said all. I've been listening to you for the first 3-4 minutes. But first, let me apologize. It was an issue of network. I think I have to switch to another one again. So, yeah, this is what we face in Nigeria, but it's okay. So, yes, you have already said a lot, and I'm highly impressed with your contribution also. The issue of development partners we are talking about, we should understand that these development partners are just coming to tell us that if you do this thing, it will be this. And we are not going to think that they are going to step for. No, most of them are even doing what they call cycle years project. That's why sometimes you said they disengage. It's not that they disengage. From the beginning, they know they're only going to do 4 years in the cycle project. And after that one, it's left for you to continue or not to continue. So they'll move to another thing to start showing also that this is also another area you need to do something about it. So we need to show, as you said, that we can also develop ourselves, develop our country, and then develop all other issues that need to be developed. So I thank you very much, Prof, for stepping in for me there. And I thank viewers also for listening to what we said. And we hope to see that this smart conference forthcoming we mobilize a lot of people that will participate. On my side, I'm also talking with some of the development partners also to see how they can key into this. I've already talked with my, what do you call it, JICA. I'm also talking with some guys in GIZ, okay. And because in our compound there in Abuja, we have all the international donors in that compound. In Asokoro, we have GIZ, Islamic Development Bank, French Development Agency, Koika, and then also. So we have a platform for donor partners, and this platform for donor partners, we talk on a daily basis. And I started chipping in side views about this conference with some other guys, so that our next, what do you call it, donor meetings, I would like to ask you to give me some brief that I will be able to present to them objective, the direction, the expected outcome, so that we see how some of them can key into. So yeah, that's all what I can say. And thank you for today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zama. I can't really thank you enough. So I'll definitely follow up with you, like the moderator has mentioned, immediately by the end of this next week, after the coffee paper has closed, we will start fully into the conference preparation. So you will definitely be part of that, we will welcome all the efforts that you're making, and everyone I want to participate. We're definitely going to draw the schedule together because obviously, as we have presented in the paper today, we need a forum. And like last year when we did the conference, we came with the white paper, that we produced, that was published. So this very year, I want us to go beyond just publishing the white paper discussion of all what the stakeholders mentioned, but that all these partners will take it away for implementation, not just a document that people will just have published, but that there will be an action plan, that this is exactly what they will follow. Because part of what you have actually presented today, I actually want to ask, what can we do to really ensure that all the initiatives of the government, because you are fully articulated, and I can also attest to that. I know a lot of the budget that goes into all these different organizations that are initiative of the government, but the challenge I have is there a measurable way to really ensure that they are actually connecting with the people that use that? I will give an example. In a developed country like Canada, and most of the developed countries, one of the way they ensures that this initiative and the funding extend, they will introduce some like proposal for companies to submit. They have a problem and they will throw out, and people will submit, very competitive. There are a lot of people that have brains and development and that will submit that. Through that, they will float their companies. That's how they get started. But when we have all these initiatives, all these government agency, and the money is being spent yearly, but there are no measurable plans to really ensure that it's true, whether in terms of grant, whether they submit for call for papers, or commit for call for paper, or publication or responses, they won't be able to really get this thing to the hands of those that have the knowledge and to develop that. So you cannot really address this at this very webinar. I look forward to us having a framework to really discuss this more at the conference in October. But if you feel you want to say one or two things before we close, the floor is still yours.
No, I think you have said all. The basic fact is that government is doing their own. But again, there should be check and balance. And how can check and balance come to be to ensure, as you said, how much goes to this, what is the outcome, and all this is through this type of platform. Like this SMART is another platform I cherish, that if we all look inward, focus very well, the outcome at the end of the conference like this can be like a blueprint that can push government to do something. Because if this conference is well articulated, well presented, and people see that it's not just another talk show, these are caliber, what do you call it, good group of people, researchers, professors that come to form this thing, and then they are speaking to government now through this channel. Government will definitely see into it, or those that are in charge of those things we are talking about will definitely see into it. And that is how you see Nigeria Economic Summit Group is also a platform that started as you are starting this SMART. Few group of people who has an idea, bring it now and becomes a yearly program. And at every point in time, they come up with a resolution. All this tax reform is coming out of those conferences. There are a lot of resolutions that they come out at this and push to government. And because now high-level people are already connected into this type of platform, into this type of engagement, they have no choice than to say, oh, Professor X and Y is a renowned energy expert, presented paper on this, and now out of this presentation, this is a recommendation. Government will definitely have to look into it. So that is how like all this Nigerian Energy Summit Group are working today. Every year they come up with one or two things that they provide, they come as an outcome of their conference and give to the government. And the government has no choice, because at the opening of this type of program, even the president is there, or the vice president must be there. So they have make it as like a think tank for the government. Like all this National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies also, their course participants also come out with recommendation. So to push government is to come through a like minds, professionally and intellectually and highly placed people, as you are trying to do in this. And I think next or this year's conference will come out with good resolutions that will go in line with what you just said, that will be presented to government officially, and definitely it will work. So thank you very much. Yes, this is what I just want to say. And
thank you very much. Also, moderator,
we keep talking. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. So moderator, you can, in the absence of any other question, you can round up.
All right, so we've come to the end of this meeting, and I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Zama for the insightful presentation. I'm aware of the fact that you're a very busy person, and to create time to be part of this, we are really, really grateful, sir, for that. On behalf of the Smart Research Conference team, I want to say a very big thank you to you, sir. Right. So I would also like to say a big thank you to everyone that was part of today's meeting. And as you said, it is going to be holding every week. So we started last week and then we continue up until the SMART conference coming up in October. As I said, a reminder to submit your Senate abstracts. Deadline closes 26th of June. And also to register for the SMART conference coming up in October. So you would not want to miss out on a conference like that. Whatever we're getting in these meetings are snippets of what you're going to get eventually. So as I said, so thank you very much and see you next week.